Good afternoon. Thank you for watching our live update for Thursday, March 4th. Today, I'll be brief. I'll let others share the exciting news we have for you about our next steps. When I'm done here with my brief comments, Melissa Markey is going to come up and she's going to tell you about our plans for restarting and reopening some of our wellness and aquatics programming. Then Jessica Corbitt will tell you about the performing arts plans, and Sarah Abernathie has studio arts plans for you as we begin to think about our next steps for reopening and restarting a bunch of our programs and services here. Lastly today, Chaplain David Curtis has our pastoral care segment. Real quickly, let me just share with you about the situation with the COVID situation. Thankfully, we've not had any new cases in this for the last week or so in either our staff or residents. So that's really good news. It's nice to not have any staff now out, and we continue to have 4 independent living residents that are recovering from the tower. One of those is asymptomatic and is in the apartment in the tower in quarantine, and will be that way throughout the rest of this week, assuming the resident stays asymptomatic. That quarantine will end, I think, on Sunday or Monday. So that's good news. As of, I think, just an hour or two ago, 2 of our residents are being cared for in the COVID-19 unit because, thankfully, one of the hospitalized residents came home or is coming home. I'm not sure at what time today, but coming back to Westminster Canterbury today, and will be readmitted back into the COVID unit for recovery. So that's really good news to have one of our 2 residents that was in the hospital back. So that means we still have 1 resident being cared for in the hospital at this time. So please keep that person in your prayers, and we really hope to have everyone back here and being cared for by our staff soon. So we're eager for that to happen. Now, in terms of our next steps, as we mentioned on Tuesday, in the coming weeks, we, Westminster Canterbury, are going to restart some of our programs and services and begin to re-engage as a community with one another across campus. Today, as I said, you'll hear from wellness and the cultural arts. Tomorrow, you will receive a written summary of the coming changes, including the changes in dining, pastoral care, recreation, all those different areas. Next week, Scott Jonte and others will be on the live updates to share the details as it relates to that. But you'll get all those details in a memo tomorrow. I was just, before I came on today, we were talking about the fact that it's not been missed by all of us that we're planning to reopen our programs and services on March 15th, 2021, and it was March 16th, 2020 when we closed everything down. So it's been a long year, and we're eager to get back to something that looks more like normal. We know we have to continue to be careful and use all the precautions and take it slow. We don't want another outbreak, and it's a little too early right now, but we're definitely headed in the right direction, and all the data looks good right now. So we just want to keep going with the plan as we have it. Please remember that you can get all the information that we share on TV 970, 971, on the through a copy of the Westminster Canterbury Tales. The Touchdown Community app has all the information and links to everything as it relates to all of our programs and offerings and changes. And as we roll this out, look to those places for answers. If you can't find your answer, feel free to call resident services or the department that you're wondering about, and we'll make sure we get you the answers. So that's it for me today. Now I'm going to invite Melissa Markey to share plans to restart our wellness and aquatics programs. I'll see you on Tuesday.
Good afternoon. I speak for the whole wellness team in saying that we are excited to start seeing some of you all again and get some of our programs up and running. For the fitness and aquatic centers, the appointment process will stay in place. Please call on Monday, the week prior, to schedule your appointment time. For the Fitness Center, call extension 6669. And for the Aquatic Center, call extension 6539. We will continue with the weekly registration in those two areas. For small group exercise classes, classes will begin on the week of March 15th. Weekly registration is required, and we will have limited space due to social distancing guidelines. The registration window opens at 8 a.m. on Monday, the week prior to the class date. So for example, starting on Monday, March 8th, you may begin registering for classes that will take place the week of March 15th. If you have any questions about the classes, please reach out to any member of the wellness team by calling extension 6669. We will start by offering several classes to include Pool I Chi on Mondays, Pool Cardio on Wednesdays, Balance Basics on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Yoga and Meditation on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Strength Training on Mondays and Wednesdays, and we will continue to offer a Zoom exercise class on Fridays. Detailed information about all of these classes and how to sign up can be found on TV 971, the Touchtown app, in the Tails, and in the memo being put in your boxes tomorrow. Assisted living and memory support classes will start again on Monday, March 15th. Please see your monthly calendars for details on those classes. Next up is Jessica Corbitt with a performing arts update.
Good afternoon. I am thrilled to be with you all today discussing the restart of our cultural arts programming. I will be speaking about the Sarah Bell November Theater, and then Sarah Abernathie will be up to share with you news about the Art Studio. For starters, we will be offering hybrid programming in the theater, meaning we will offer both in-person showings of things as well as keeping the programming robust on TV 970. Our programming in the theater will begin with the weekly cultural films coming back. We will also offer a new series called Monday Matinees, which would be in-person viewings of the virtual ballet or the virtual symphony programs, as well as a few movies and even a few small performances will be offered. Again, easing back in as we all figure out how to keep one another safe. When opening, we do recognize that we must maintain social distance at this time, which means the capacity for the theater is 60 people. So you will see programming repeated at times so that more residents can enjoy it in person. We also must recognize that while most of our community has been vaccinated, most performers have not had a chance yet, so we will continue to keep our groups small for the next few months. Now, for how all of this will work. You will begin to see advertising for the next few months of programming very soon, and we'll continue to take our planning 2 months at a time. Tickets will be required to attend theater events, but that process will look a little different. Again, this is only a temporary process, and we may need to adjust as we go along, but we are all figuring this out together. On Fridays at 10 a.m., our plan will be to set a brochure holder up at the tower and center desks near the mailrooms. In the holder will be tickets for the next week's event. The tickets will be split evenly between the two areas, and we ask that residents take no more than 2 tickets per resident. A key thing to remember is that these are not request forms, they are your actual ticket. Once you have a ticket, you will bring it with you to the event. There's a place on the ticket for you to add your name and apartment number so that we will know who attended the event if we need to for tracking purposes. Again, because seating is so limited, we ask that you please use your ticket if you pick it up. And again, we will offer the programming multiple times to accommodate more residents. So for example, the same cultural film will show for 2 weeks in a row. So if you are unable to get a ticket that first week, we will show it again the next week, and it will also be showing on TV 970 daily. So hopefully no one will miss out. Again, we are thrilled to be reopening areas of our community. I know this has been a lot of new information. So as a reminder, all of this will be given to you in a written format tomorrow. And next up is Sarah Abernathie.
Good afternoon. I'm so excited to be here with you today to tell you about what's going on in the art studio and the wood shop. Our instructors are coming back. We'll begin our regular weekly classes at first, and then we'll start adding some workshops a couple of weeks later. The offerings starting March 15th will be Monday, we'll have small crafts at 1:30 to 3. Tuesday is open studio with Tommy from 10 to 12. Wednesday is open studio with Tommy from 10 to 12. Wednesday will be drawing with Dale from 1 to 3, and pottery also from 1 to 3. Thursday, Clint will be in the wood shop from 9 to 11. Susan will be teaching weaving from 9:30 to 11:30 in the studio, and the pottery classes will be throughout the day. The schedule will be listed on a large calendar outside of the art studio, on the TVs, and in the tails. We will continue to social distance in all of the areas. The number of students allowed in each class will be determined by the area being used. There will be hand sanitizers and cleaning supplies for you to use before and after you create. Please fill out an orange slip that looks like this. You can find it at the center and tower desks or just outside of my office, which is near the art studio, and hand that in or call me at 6268 to sign up for classes. I am really looking forward to seeing you all soon. Next up is David Curtis.
Good afternoon. I'm David Curtis with the Pastoral Care Office. I'm one of the staff chaplains here at Westminster Canterbury. And a few pastoral care updates for us. A sermon for every Sunday is shown every Sunday at 4 o'clock on TV 970. This week, Reverend Philip Martin from Epiphany Lutheran Church will reflect on Exodus chapter 17, verses 1 through 17. This passage of Scripture is one of the sacred stories about the giving of the Ten Commandments. Prayer ribbons, purple prayer ribbons, are now in the center business area, the tower lobby, and in the sanctuary. And residents are invited to take a ribbon or two and place them in their doors or in their walls, or perhaps in their Bibles or prayer books. Ribbons may also be tied to the gates leading to the Emmaus Memorial Garden at the Spiritual Center. And may these ribbons be a visible reminder of our prayers. And like other offices, Pastoral Care is making plans to regather, and we too are excited about seeing you. We will offer more details next week, but to offer a preview, we plan on inviting residents to attend evening prayer at 4:45 beginning on March the 15th. We will also be resuming some small groups, like our racial reconciliation groups, and we will resume in-person Thursday morning worship on Thursday, April the 8th, which is the first Thursday after Easter. More details will be coming next week. For our scripture this afternoon, hear these words from Psalm 139, verses 7 through 12. Where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and settle at the farthest limits of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will cover me, and the light around me become night, even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is as bright as the day, for darkness is as light to you. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. One of my favorite hymns is I Want to Walk as a Child of the Light. It was written in 1966 by Kathleen Thomerson and is partially based on Psalm 139. I've also been finding myself singing it to myself recently. It seems that I can't stop thinking about light these days. Our days are getting longer and thankfully warmer. We are leaving the darkness of winter behind us. More and more people are being vaccinated. We now have 3 vaccines with the possibility of 2 more this year. There is light, and there is hope, and there is more light. And for that, I give thanks and praise. This afternoon, I offer you a blessing from Jan Richardson. It is called How the Light Comes. Although this was written for Christmas Day, it seems appropriate for today. I cannot tell you how the light comes. What I know is that it is more ancient than imagining, that it travels across an astounding expanse to reach us, that it loves searching out what is hidden, what is lost, what is forgotten, or in peril, or in pain, that it has a fondness for the body, for finding its way toward flesh, for tracing the edges of form, for shining forth through the eye, the hand, the heart. I cannot tell you how the light comes, but that it does, that it will, that it works its way into the deepest darkness that holds you, though it may seem long ages in coming or arrive in a shape you did not foresee. And so may we this day turn ourselves toward it. May we lift our faces to let it find us. May we bend our bodies to follow the arc it makes. May we open and open more and open still to the blessed light that comes. Please join us on Tuesday at 3 p.m. for our next video update. Thank you.